Good morning, Jennings County, and welcome into Wednesday. It is August 4th, 2021. I'm Joe Ammerman. Pleased to have with us in the studio this morning North Vernon Mayor Mike Ochs. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Joe. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. More importantly, how you feeling these days?
I'm feeling by hand mainly right now. No, I'm coming along, doing good.
Well, I think most people are familiar with your journey over the last several months, but for those that aren't, you are one of those unfortunate cases that you go to the hospital, get well, and you end up getting sick instead.
I got real sick. Yeah, I had an ankle replacement that got infected, and then I got sepsis. And for anybody that doesn't know what that is, that's a blood disease. And that I really got sick, and there's so much of it I don't remember, but I was told I was really sick, and but I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Well, it was a several-month recovery, right?
Yeah, about 3 months.
Okay.
I was in a nursing home, and that's not a trip I want to repeat.
Well, you are getting around. I'm assuming still building your strength,
Oh, yes.
and how
Yeah.
close do you think you are to full strength then?
Oh, not. I got a ways to go. It was interesting. I wanted to, just the other night, I just wanted to soak in some really hot water. The joints were kind of hurting, and so I thought I'll just lower myself down into the tub. It wasn't any lowering. I fell in the tub. There's no strength to lower myself. So Connie came in. We had a mess to clean up, but it was nice soaking for just a little bit. Didn't hurt myself, but I was fortunate.
So is there therapy you're doing now?
Yeah, I'm trying to get hooked up with Accent out here in North Vernon, and we're trying to get things worked out because I need therapy.
Well, obviously, as mayor, you have put together a really good team because they managed to keep things going in your absence.
I have a really superb team, and that's the thing about we have been blessed. Before I became mayor, the words came, "I want you to be mayor," and I said, "I'm not a mayor. I'm not a politician." And it kept coming about to be mayor. And so I referred to the Bible, and I said, okay, look, there's stories in the Bible about putting out the fleece. So I want the fleece to be wet and the ground be dry, if this is really what you want. Well, the fleece was wet, all right, saturated. The ground was dry. And I said, okay, now I just want it reversed then. If that's really what you want. And it was reversed, and it was just totally reversed. And I said, but I am not a politician. I can't do this. I know nothing about being a mayor. And there was a little voice that came, listen, if I can take care of Moses, I can take care of you. I'll take care of what you need. And then I watched a movie, and it's strange how God can even speak to you on all kinds of planes and all kinds of situations. I was watching a movie, and in this movie it says, "Here I am, send me." And that spoke to me. So I said, okay, here I am. Send me. Use me. I'll do what you want. And so I became mayor, and I have a good staff. I have a good team. And there is no I in team. When I became mayor, I called my staff together, and I said, look, I don't know what your jobs are. You go do your jobs. If you guys mess up, then we'll talk. Because I don't know how to tell the street department to clean up the street. I don't know how to tell the police department to do their job. I don't know how to tell the various departments. They know their job. So I'm just going to let you do your job. If you mess up, we'll talk.
Right. Well, I imagine they're glad that you're not trying to tell them how to do their job.
That's what I've been told, too.
Well, during the time you were gone, except for those periods you mentioned where you don't remember anything, I'm sure you were kept up to date on things going on in the city.
Yeah, we actually, through a Zoom meeting, I swore in 3 police officers, which is rather, I don't think anybody else has ever done that. At least over here, it was kind of neat. But by Zoom, I swore in 3 police officers, and I thought that was kind of interesting, kind of fun.
Well, at what point when did the discovery of the logo come? Were you still on the job or at the time?
This is right before I got sick. I don't think that's what made me sick, but it was right before. I have a very good secretary, an assistant, and she was kind of rooting around in the closet, and she come across a logo that was actually voted on and accepted, and Patty Franks come up with this logo and drawing and everything back when Jerry Lamb was mayor, and presented it, and everybody voted on it, but it never come about. Even Tom Spear, a city policeman way back then, because he's older than I am, so I can say that. Way back then, he was even in on this thing, the design of it, and it's such a neat kind of design because it brings the sun in on. It shows the caboose of the train, but it also shows the sun, and it talks about it shows, if you'll let your mind look at it, it shows how the solar is what we presently have and will always have, and how we can use that and put it to the best of our best use.
And she came up with that long before solar came to town.
That's right. And so Patty Franks did all this. It was in the paper way back then, but it never came to fruition. It never come to be used. So Tanya found it, and she got on board about this thing, and she showed it to me. I said, "Well, this is great." So we started walking. She more or less pushed this idea, and it's a good idea. And so we began working with this, because the trains is what it used to be. This used to be a city of railroads, and it's not that anymore. That's pretty much going away. We have a few railroads, but now it's the sun. It's a city of solar, because we're the first solar city, and it's kind of exciting knowing that.
Well, that new logo looks awfully good along the streets of North Vernon these days.
It does, and we've had a lot of compliments about that, and that's good, because that's what I like to hear is compliments.
It is nice too that included in it is the history and the moving forward as the solar city. Let's talk about that a little bit. This has all happened while you were mayor, and what's your assessment so far of North Vernon as the solar city?
We're I guess you could call us a trendsetter. We're on the cutting edge. Now I was at a airport meeting, and the guys from Johnson Metal were there, and they was talking about putting solar out to the airport, and the way they was describing it was how good it was going to be, and how efficient, and how much cheaper it would do to operate all the equipment, and I sit and I listened to that, and I said, wait a minute, time out. If it's really going to be that good, let's talk to the city council, because you're talking about something that's almost too good to be true. Let's see what they have to say about it, and let's think about the whole town being run on solar. And that's what they came and they presented it, and we're very fortunate because I have 2 electricians that's on the city council, and so they understood all of this. And we have like 16 different places now that have solar, because we have the green space either on the roofs, on the ground next to it, and the first thing they did is they went and they changed all LED bulbs, and that street lights, that's lights inside the building. It was a lot brighter, but run more efficient. And then they started adding the solar, and we got in on a house bill, and we started recouping some money that we could, by net metering, we could start selling overage back to the companies, and that's really come in handy. That's whenever you can save money and then sell back to the utility companies, that's where it's at.
Well, anything on the horizon that you see as the future of North Vernon right now, or are you just kind of getting back up to speed on what's going on?
It's exciting being mayor because there's something always on the horizon. You just never know. From one day to the next, things just appear, and that's what's really not nice. And not only just getting well, but just things are really, it's fun because things appear and things come about. We serve a risen Savior, and that's what's really fun about this whole thing. Because when I became mayor, I turned this all over. I said, Lord, I want to do what you want me to do. It's not for me. It's not for my glory, not for my gratification, but I want to serve you, and I want to reflect on you, and I I want to have things to honor you. And I think, not gloating, but I think that's what we're trying to do, and I think that's what we've done.
Well, with that in mind, I assume you know that there were an awful lot of people in North Vernon and Jennings County praying for you over the last several months.
And I've heard that, and I appreciate that. That's why I'm here today. If it wasn't for that, I'd probably not be here, because I believe in that power of prayer.
Well, we're awfully glad to see you. I appreciate you coming to be on the radio with us this morning. It's good to have an Ochs back on the radio this morning.
Thanks, Joe. It's good to be here.
All right, that's North Vernon Mayor Mike Ochs.